The validate phase is also often a time for experimentation. In addition to collecting feedback and input from users about a potential solution, you may also need to actually test things out in your product and see how they work before moving forward with a full build. This is another way to make sure what you build will be used in the way you envisioned and solves the problem you thought it was going to solve. The first part is evaluative testing, which happens upfront before you ever build anything. You might have a prototype you want to test or need to do usability testing for multiple feature ideas. Another common type of evaluative testing is a fake door test, which involves inviting customers to use a feature that isn't released yet, which may or may not already be in development, to see how many of them are interested in it. This allows product managers to easily validate a product idea before committing to any development and is also useful when building your pricing strategy. The second part is live experimentation, where you actually put things into the product and see how they work. More specifically, you might make functionality available to a small subset of your user base before going into a deeper build and eventually releasing it to everyone. Another strategy is to A/B test features, which involves putting out 2 versions of a feature and seeing which performs better. Which feature has higher engagement? Which feature do your most successful users gravitate towards? Now let's go over 3 best practices to keep in mind when running experiments and tests during the validate phase. The first best practice is to choose the right type of experiment. This will depend on what you're trying to test and learn. Are you wondering if one feature idea is better than another? Are you just trying to gauge interest in functionality, or do you actually have something to show your users to get feedback on? It's important to think through what type of experiment will provide the information you need in order to move forward with a decision. The second best practice is to target the right users. This matters for 2 reasons. 1, you probably don't want to introduce functionality and disrupt the experience for your entire user base, especially if you work at a large business with millions of users. 2, it's likely that the solution you want to test isn't relevant for your entire customer base. It might be geared towards a specific persona or users with a certain job to be done. And the third best practice is to always use data to evaluate success, especially with live experimentation. As you add things to the product, be sure to continuously watch your metrics to see how discoverable the feature is and whether or not people are using it. This is the ultimate way to understand a product idea is delivering value and whether you should invest in building the full version. I'll leave you with a reminder that experimentation and validation might not always result in a clear decision on a solution. Your work during the validate phase might indicate that you need to go back into discovery. For example, if a prototype is getting negative feedback or you see low interest from a fake door test. This is perfectly normal and highlights the importance of staying nimble throughout the product management lifecycle.